learn more from just each other's experiences even than some official formal training. So I hope you feel that way. Matt's here, so if this guy gets upset, we should be good. But have you gone over any announcements, Holly?
No, I haven't.
No. Okay. The only two things I can think of are we're expanding to the UK. You know, I need to game plan what that looks like for me. Holly probably has already a whole syllabus and strategy, but but not me so much. So I'm sure Holly will share everything she comes up with in the future. But,
don't get Michelle.
I will say, don't rely on me and Holly. What would you do? How can you utilize this? You know, we have time. I think what I've heard a lot in the network, Carl said it on the call Monday. I've seen Bonnie post about it. Don't get so distracted by that and overwhelmed by that that you forget your business here. If that's going to be the case, choose your business here. Choose your coaches you have. Choose the customers you have now and ignore the UK thing if you can't handle both. That's not happening till late fall. We don't know when. You know, again, if you have a like page, sure, start targeting some likes to the UK. If you have a friend that's lived over there in the past or lives there now, sure, message her. Let her know what's going on. See if she knows anyone that might be interested in the future. But again, we don't need to be getting on webinars with these people telling the coach opportunity in May, you know? So again, think about it. Don't get overwhelmed by it. Hold on, let me close my door, guys. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah, I 100% agree with Dara. I think the only thing I'm really planning on doing besides maybe expanding my targeted audience on Facebook ads is just using it to, you know, announce that Beachbody is growing, and without saying it, addressing the oversaturated concern, right? A lot of coaches, people who are thinking about coaching are like, oh, Beachbody's saturated and there's no clients or new coaches to find. And so somehow addressing that concern by showing that like we're growing and we have an entirely new market, and hopefully, you know, but that is again focused on my finding US coaches and clients there, not UK, but addressing that concern. So that's really kind of the way I'm looking at approaching it right now.
Yeah, I agree completely. If you haven't posted about it yet, find a way to post about it. Come up with a creative way that will, again, explain why it's a big deal that we're going to be over there. Again, opening new markets and all that good stuff. The other thing that's more coming up quicker is Sean Week. Again, I have not done enough research on this to figure out how I want to utilize it. I don't know how it's going to work with free trial of On Demand or anything. Maybe Holly can fill us in if she hasn't, you know, quickly, but I am planning on researching it, and I will post something to our team page about, again, ideas, how to utilize and capitalize on that. People love Sean T, guys. So even if you don't, other people do. So love the girl doing workouts. Nice job, Elizabeth. So let's figure, you know, and again, do your own research. Like, I want to be there. That's my job. As a leader, I need to know what's going on, but don't wait for me. If you're wondering about it, if you love Sean T and are excited about it, go look it up and figure out what you want to do. And I know I'm making that sound easier said than done. Some of you are like, I've been a coach for a week. What are you talking about? But the point is, you know, all of this information is out there. So I need to find it, but you need to find it too.
Yeah, and I'll just add so by the time Sean T Week comes out, that's when the Beachbody On Demand has rolled over to all access. So everything will be all access. There will no longer be a 30-day trial. There'll just be the 14-day trial. So for me, I am planning on running it as a free group. I'm going to do it very similar to how I ran my T25 free group. If you're doing that, the only thing to make sure is that if you're telling people, okay, great, sign up for Beachbody On Demand, it is a 14-day free trial. Should make sure they're not signing up until right before it's about to start. If they sign up too soon, their trial will be over. I will also say I've had amazing success running free groups in the app. I think that sounds really counterintuitive, but I had people sign up with me. They did their Beachbody On Demand trial, and I posted some of my shakes, and then they started posting their shakes. which I thought was crazy because no one can buy shakes. But these were people who had leftovers, who had purchased them in the past. And so all of a sudden I had a group where everyone was checking off workouts and several people were posting shakes. And I didn't require them to buy anything. And so it was encouraging others to do the same. So, Facebook groups are obviously awesome, but so are the app. So don't discount the app.
Okay, well, I'll just dive in. So I've been learning, I think I'm gonna go in my bathroom. The lighting is better. I'm really sorry, guys. It's been, like I said, kind of a service today. That is better. Okay, so I shared a little bit about this with some of my leaders the other day, and I know Holly did a call on overcoming the overwhelm last week, which sounded really good. I haven't had a chance to listen to the recording yet, but basically in April, I was overwhelmed and I was drowning in business and family. The kids were sick, the whole month. For those of you who don't know me, I have 4 kids, 5 years old and under, and I did the ultimate reset, which was great, but I am not used to that amount of meal planning and cooking and prepping. Some of you are. It would not be a hard thing for you. It was very hard for me. And then we were leaving for Punta Cana at the end of April, which is always fun, but when you're leaving 4 kids behind, it's just a lot. I was so overwhelmed. And I pretty much got to Punta Cana, like one of my corporate mentors, Craig Collier, you might have heard his name around. He had called me at some point at the beginning of April and was like, hey, we haven't connected in a while. How are you doing? And I'm like, honestly, I'm just barely getting by. I think I'm going to have to kind of lower my expectations and just, do what I can right now. And again, just to be clear, there was never any thought of like stopping Beachbody, like not even a thought. It was just more like lowering my expectation and goals, hitting Success Club and whatever else happens, and that for me would be lowering my goals and forgetting trying to be an elite team and forgetting, trying to get bonuses and rank bonuses. So that's how I was feeling when I got to Punta Cana. Just like, man, I just don't know how I'm going to do this. Like something has to change. Either, again, I need to lower my Beachbody expectations or I've got to change something because I wasn't happy and I wasn't fulfilled. I didn't feel like I was doing anything well. That's where I was at. And I don't know what it was. I got Punta Cana definitely was such a much needed refresh. But I basically decided I wasn't willing to stop pursuing my Beachbody goals because despite all that, I have felt more passionate about Beachbody, more bold, more enthusiasm for Beachbody and our team, for you guys, than I felt for our customers, for our products in a really long time. So I knew taking that step back or, lowering my expectations wasn't the right answer. So for me, I've been using the time as an excuse, saying I don't have enough time to do this business the way I want. I don't have enough time to reach my goals in this business. And I finally pinpointed time was actually not the issue. I have time. I still watch, a show or 2 at night with my husband. I could sacrifice. I'm not willing to do that, but I could. For me, it was energy. I didn't have the energy because I had the time. The problem was when it came to that time that I had, I didn't have the energy. I didn't have the energy to pour into you guys. I didn't have the energy to pour into my customers, to get creative and come up with posts. My nap time and post bedtime work business hours just weren't working because I wasn't at my best during those hours anymore. I think for a while it worked for me, but just, I think with Tessa, my youngest, getting older, she doesn't just lay around and sleep anymore, so it's been more. It's 4 real little humans running around all the time and feeding them, and so it wasn't time, it was my energy levels that were changing. I'd already been waking up at 6 a.m., which is about an hour and 15 minutes before my kids wake up to do my quiet time and personal development, do my vision, positive affirmations. So I already felt pretty good about that. And I think that's why for so long, I justified not getting up earlier to do like my power hour and actually do Beachbody work in the morning. Because waking up earlier was not the solution to my problem that I wanted. That was not the answer to my problem that I wanted to hear and admit. But that is the answer to my problem. That is the solution to my issue. So starting in May, I started waking up. It was Monday, Wednesday, Fridays at 5 a.m. because on Tuesdays and Thursdays, my older kids go to school, so I do have a little more time to do the business. But Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, I'm with them all day. And I started waking up at 5 a.m. I still do my hour of personal development, goals, positive affirmations, and then I do an hour of Beachbody work. I answer the messages. I send the follow-ups. I get that first post out in the morning. Actually, I don't necessarily post it because it's, 6:30 in the morning, but I get it written, ready to go. And just whatever else I need to do, and guys, it has been transformative. It has been absolutely transformative, and it may not be the answer to your problem. I'm not telling you that waking up at 5 is the answer to your problem. But I think, again, my takeaway from all this, time was not my issue. It was energy. So when are you at your best? And while I've never considered myself, like, my dad is a morning person. He's the wakes up at 5 without an alarm kind of morning person. I'm not that kind of morning person, but I have to admit, especially in this season of life, I am at my best in the morning. Again, come those afternoon hours, as much as I love Shakeology, it is still not powering me through those afternoon hours, and the nighttime, definitely not. That's my time with my husband. Again, I'm doing a little more work at night now, but I'm not still my best. It's like maintenance work at night. I'm not creative at night. But in the morning I am. So I just challenge you, when are you your best? And whenever that is, carve out time then. See if you can carve out that time. Again, 5 a.m. is not the answer I wanted. That is not what I wanted to do. Because, in some ways it does cut into my evening time. I need to be more conscious about when I go to bed. But it's just changed so much. I have worked harder in the last 3 weeks than I've probably worked in the past 6 months. Or I'll say harder than ever in this length of time, because I'm just at my best. And something else I noticed about this, have you ever felt like maybe you're like me and you did your work during nap time? The same things I do in the morning now, when I waited till 2 p.m. to do them, feel so much harder because they've been weighing on me all day and they've been just this dark cloud over me. It's like when you wait to do your workout and it hangs over you all day, and it's like that it feels 10 times harder at 4 p.m. or 8 p.m. than it would have if you had just gotten it done at 9 a.m. That's how my Beachbody stuff was going. The things that I was like drudging through at 2 p.m., the exact same activities I'm flying through with enthusiasm and lightheartedness at 6 a.m. But again, you need to find your time. Something else that I have discovered is, well, first of all, I had really gotten away from doing connections. Again, I was just like trying to survive, right? Like I didn't have time to make new relationships, make new friends. I was just trying to maintain the relationships I had with my coaches, with my customers. So I'd really gotten away from doing those hey girl messages, conversation starters. I like calling them connections now, whatever you want to call them. I'd gotten away from those. I'm doing those again. And I can't believe the amount of conversations I'm having. Normally, I'm doing 35 connections a week. And for me, that really is connections. That's not invites. I'm pretty particular about who I actually invite to a group, but I'm not particular about who I connect with. I will find anything to connect with someone over and send them a message about it. I can't believe the amount of conversations I'm having. They're not all about Beachbody, but it's people getting to know me. It's people that might now reach out to me because we started a conversation 3 months ago. Before, if I was away from my phone for like 3 hours, I would maybe have, 3 messages waiting. Now I have like over 10 every time I step away from my phone for a few hours. Again, are they all about Beachbody? No, but it's people. It's people that I'm exposed to. It's people I can add value to and gain credibility with. So that's been really big for me over the last few weeks. Again, some of this you're like, yeah, we know, review. I don't care. You're going to hear it again. Because I think it's one thing to hear it and another thing to really like experience it. And right now I'm experiencing it, the change in my business. And I've been doing this for 3.5 years. I knew too, but we still can get away with it from it. And we can still forget the value and importance of these things, which leads me again, keep digging into your why. On the way to Punta Cana, I wrote out a 3-page entry in my journal of my vision for my life, for my business, for my family. If you haven't done that in a while, or you've done it and you haven't looked at it in a while, look at it. Look at it again. It will revive you. Something else I've been doing, the weekly plan. I've talked about the 12-week year a lot on these calls the last few months. I'm finally done with the book, so maybe you guys will stop hearing about it for a bit. But it did make me implement. It's the first personal development book that I actually feel like I've implemented what I've been learning. So I've been coming up with a weekly plan. And to be honest, it doesn't look that much different than my to-do list. But it feels different somehow because I was intentional about it. It wasn't just things I was scribbling as I rushed about my day. It's things that I sat down and intentionally planned out to do every week. And one difference is I am being more intentional about my posting. On my weekly plan, I have the general themes of things I want to post about. I don't have every post written, ready to go with an image. I am not that prepared or planned. But I do know I can look at today, literally I go, oh crap, I'm supposed to invite to a challenge group tonight. What do I want to say? But it just is that reminder. Or, Thursdays have become Thirsty Thursday. So I always do a Shakeology post now on Thursdays. Because I think sometimes we think we're talking about Beachbody a lot and having that good balance of Beachbody versus just value in life. But if I really looked at the last few weeks, it was not intentional at all. There was maybe an invite or two, but there were no just, the exposures or what I call, sharing your journey or sharing something about a challenge group or sharing something about a coaching without an invite attached. It's just sharing why you're grateful, sharing what you love about your challenge group, sharing what you love about coaching without an invite. And I had not been intentional about those. So now those are part of my weekly plan, and I make sure I'm getting what I feel good about, in. So the weekly plan has been really big. And something I'm really digging into is team culture. I just missed the boat on that somehow. I think, again, you always feel for so long you're just trying to keep up, that you don't have time to invest in your team the way you want to, or, create something. But I just encourage you, a lot of you are new on this call, start now. I don't care if you have 1 or 2 coaches. Share your vision of your team with your coaches. What do you want that group of women to be like, to look like, to love like? What do you want your team to be known for? And they're having to write another vision, but write that vision for your team and share that with them and start talking to people like that on social media. Having this idea of what my team culture to be has made inviting to the coach opportunity so easy, because I'm not inviting people because they've done a Beachbody program before. I'm not inviting people because I know they're a stay-at-home mom and they need money. I am truly inviting people. I invited a girl today and I was scared to do it, I'll admit, but I left her a voice message on Facebook. And she's someone who's already working. She seems so fulfilled in her job. She's killing it as a mom. She's does her own health and fitness thing and looks amazing. And she's one of those that you're just she doesn't need Beachbody. She already is doing everything. She's happy in her job. She's, happy with her work-life balance. A, you don't know if people are happy or not. But B, the point is I approached her and I didn't talk about why she needs extra money. I don't know if she needs extra money. I just told her I really liked her
And I've been looking for people I really like to join my team because I want to work with people I like. And I think I've seen her posts. Everything she posts makes me laugh. She's someone who I just feel like gets me. And that's why I think she should join my team and be a coach on my team. That's it. And it's authentic and sincere. It has nothing to do with how much money she might make. It has nothing to do with anything, really. It's just, I told her I liked her. And worst case scenario, I hope she takes it as a compliment and says no thanks, you know? And I haven't heard from her, by the way. So that's okay. I, feel confident in the message I sent because it came from an authentic place. So I think digging into your team culture will make inviting easier because you will be looking for people like that. And you will be so excited when you find one that you won't be as afraid to ask. And the invite will come across way more authentic, way more genuine. Whew. Trying to think of what else I've learned over the last few weeks. I think those are the main things. I just think, I don't know. I just think I beg of you, like before, I want you to give not just Beachbody your best energy. My kids need my best energy, And so I'm not saying like sacrifice your best self for Beachbody and not your kids, but by getting up in the morning, I'm giving Beachbody my best energy, and then I can give my kids my best energy because most of my Beachbody stuff is done with. Anything I do after that, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, is like maintenance. It's following up. It's just responding to conversations I already started. The hard part was out of the way. So just 5 a.m. might not be the solution you want to hear, but maybe you need to hear it, and maybe you need to act on it. Before you use time as an excuse to justify, he is hungry, why you're not, nothing in there anymore, why you're not doing this or can't do this, you need to really be honest with yourself. Again, it's okay if you don't want this enough. And that's what else. It is okay if you just don't want this enough. I respect that. I do, but if you do want it, then you will find a way. And it took me 3 years to decide I was willing to wake up at 5 a.m. to do this business. It took me 3 years to decide I needed that for my business. So again, it's okay if that's not your answer right now. It's okay if you don't want this enough yet, but just hear it and be open to it. And that's really it. I really just, again, I've learned a lot in the last few weeks. All that being said, I'm only at Success Club 10. Based on the number of conversations I'm having, I thought I would be through the roof, but it's insane because I feel so at peace with my number. I'm not giving up. There's like 8 days left, 7 days left. But it's like, I know I've put in the work. This is like the first month where I'm like, I really feel like I've done almost everything I can do. And I said this to my leaders. I hate that whole, like, I did everything I could do. I don't know if anyone's ever done everything they can do. I just think that's like one of those silly, stupid things people say. No offense if you said it, but I just don't believe that you've ever done everything you can do. Anyways, I really feel like I've done everything I wanted to do for this business this month. And I have so much confidence in that. And I believe my work that I put in now is going to show up in June and July, which can be slow months, So I'm passionate about this. I'm passionate about you guys. These team calls are like rocking my world. We've never had this many people on team calls. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here. And I hope you believe in this as much as I do. And that's another thing, belief, I think, has been a real weakness on my team, and something I didn't talk about enough. And I just encourage you. I didn't believe in myself when I first started. I didn't believe in Beachbody when I first started. But it's kind of like one of those things, you fake it till you make it. I did the things I was supposed to do. I read the stupid personal development I didn't want to read. I listened to the national wake-up calls I didn't want to listen to. And 3 months in, I was sold. I decided I could do this. So do the things anyways. Do it anyways. That's it.
Love it. Do you guys have any questions about what Dara talked about, or just questions in general as we approach the end of the month? Like Dara said, we've still got, 7 days? So plenty of time to hit Success Club. I'm still pushing for 12 more points this month, so I'm pushing right with you guys.
Hey, it's Cindy. I had a question, well, kind of like a comment. I know she was talking about the SC10, and it's kind of my first month, so I don't even know if I'm going to hit SC5. I would love to, but even in like that first month, I really felt like my expectation was like super, super high, and I feel like I'm not like even going to get close to that. So kind of what do y'all recommend for that? Or, I mean, I know there's still time, but I don't know. I don't feel like I would like to reach it, but I'm trying to be realistic too.
You're really close to Success Club 5 though, right? How many Success Club points do you have on the board?
I have 4.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like,
yeah, so I'm just like one off.
Yeah, you're one off. Yeah. So for Success Club 5, you've got this. You know, that's one Shakeology, one challenge pack. You're there. You're like getting in your own head now, right? Do the things that you did at the beginning of this month and last month to keep forming those relationships. Obviously it's worked. People are watching you. They purchase from you. You have 2 customers. So keep going. And yeah, don't worry about Success Club 10, right? I think that can be overwhelming. That can feel, oh my gosh, that's so far, but I'm at Success Club 4. So there's no reason I can't hit Success Club 5. So shoot for Success Club 5 and don't let those kind of bigger goals overwhelm you. Because sometimes I get to the beginning of the month when I see that big 0 for Success Club points, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like how am I going to do this? And there's never really an answer or a path. I just say, well, we're just going to do it. And I'm just going to keep doing the same things that I've done from day one, and I know I'm going to make it there. And if I need to do a little more inviting, then I do it. But shoot for Success Club 5. Do the things you've been doing because they're working. Dara, do you have anything?
I do. And this is hard for me to say because I'm preaching to the choir. Don't be realistic. There are too many areas of our life that we have to be realistic in. Don't limit yourself to being realistic. And I can say this because I am realistic. I don't like setting big goals. It doesn't come naturally to me. It scares the crap out of me. I hate failing. But I've spent way too much time being realistic and using that as my excuse. Well, I'm just being realistic. And I'm not calling you out, Cindy. I'm calling me out. I'm calling everyone out who just nodded their head when I said what I said. I've spent so much time being realistic. Let Beachbody be the one area that you don't be realistic. That's all I would say.
I love that. Usually I'm the one like saying that stuff, Dara. I love that from you tonight.
I'm a new woman, Holly. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Wow.
Let me get a good kick.
Anyone else have questions or comments or? And I'm not making light. I am the biggest when it comes to like family time with my husband. That's why like I haven't been willing to sacrifice that. And I haven't been. I'm just sacrificing my own comfort of sleeping in longer. So I'm not trying to make it sound like, oh, we all have more time. I don't really think only getting 4 hours of sleep every night because you're working is good for you. It's really not what I'm recommending for the record, but just find that space, you know. And I was going to say, there's a part of me, I'll admit, that I'm worried about getting burnt out by waking up at 5. But I think I have to find those moments. I have to give myself moments of grace, moments of rest. Maybe it's a whole day, 1 week, you know, maybe it's just 15 minutes a few times a day where I just sit and breathe or whatever it is. You know, if you're going to go after this hard, do it, but make sure you are giving yourself, again, those moments, those spaces of rest and grace and fun. Because, you know, we don't want you to get burnt out, and that's also not what I'm suggesting. Oh, I also think for those of you, again, like Jessie, I know you said, like, I'm just not a morning person. Maybe it is staying up later then. Maybe it's spending your time with Reed. Again, because I don't want you to sacrifice that time with your husbands. It is precious to me in that time after the kids go down when we watch Seinfeld. Super, you know, romantic. But it's like maybe it's, okay, we spent that time, Reed's going to bed, and you go to your office. And, you know, you do another half hour, even just an hour. Again, it doesn't have to be either like 3 hours. I'm just doing that hour, 45 minutes to an hour in the morning, but it takes such a weight off of me for the rest of the day. So again, I still don't spend 45 hours a week doing this business at all, but just finding the right times where you can be most effective and most efficient.
Yeah. And I will say I am a total morning person, and I can't work in the morning at this point in my life. Right. So it's about exactly what Dara said. It's about where you are in your life. I mean, Sam got up at 6 a.m. this morning. So if I get up at 5 and wash my face, I mean, that's 5:15. By the time I sit down, I have 45 minutes. Like that's nothing to me. And that's more stressful to me. It's more stressful sitting there, like waiting for him to wake up. Right. So like that doesn't work. But I know when he goes down at 7 that I'm working a lot. Right. And I think Dara said it too, right? It's about your own personal goals and how much you want to push yourself. So 2 nights ago, I did stay up till 1 a.m. Last night, I was up till midnight. And those are the decisions that I'm making for my business. And I think it's important. This isn't a comparison game. This isn't, well, this person got this many Success Club points and this person got this many, and why am I not doing it? It's about exactly what Dara said, putting in the time you can put in and knowing in that amount of time that you've done everything possible, with where you are. And to me, only spending 1 hour at night on my business would be more stressful to me than staying up a little later. I'd rather just stay up. And I'm not a nighttime person, but it's what works in my life right now. So yeah, I mean, I loved everything about this call. You have to figure out the times that work for you and figure out how much time you really need. I mean, that's the other thing. Don't say I'm going to hit Success Club 100 and say I'm going to work from 5 to 6 a.m. and think you're going to hit Success Club 100 because you're not. Yeah. I'll tell you that right now. For anyone who sees me hit Success Club 100 and thinks I'm just like answering some messages from my like page and working 1 hour a day, like I'm not. I'm working all the time. So yeah. I'm just going to put that out there too. And again, the comparison game, Success Club 10 to Success Club 100, then you also have to compare, what's your commitment and time availability, and what's the support of your family too. That's big. David's been huge in supporting me this year in some of these goals.
Yeah, I am so big on that. And I was literally going to say the same thing. It is, for a long time, my goals weren't too big in this business because I didn't want to put it in the work I knew it would take to get them. So, and I owned that. It was okay that my goals weren't as big as some of my peers, but I had to own that, and I didn't get to complain when they were getting recognized and I wasn't. And that's the only thing. And if you feel uncomfortable with where your goals are at, then maybe you need to have bigger goals, and maybe you need to find the time to put in that work. Because if you are uncomfortable, then they probably know that you're selling yourself short and you could do more. But I love that. Like exactly what Holly said, like own where you're at. There is no, if you just want to make $300 a month doing this, I don't feel any differently about you than the person that wants to build this to 15-star diamond and 6-figure earning. I don't, but you don't get to complain that you're not making 6 figures. That wasn't your goal. So figure out what your goals are, own that, and then put in the work to hit those goals. Other thing I was going to say, and this has really helped me at night, for those of you that either are night people or not, is sometimes I ask myself the question, if I have something kind of like, oh, should I do it? Should I not? Should I put in 30 minutes to do this? Will I wake up stressed in the morning because I didn't get this done tonight? And if the answer is yes, then I do it. And it feels so much better. Sometimes the answer is no, though. Sometimes it's like, you know what? I'm going to have this time in the morning. I don't need to do that. But just asking yourself that question can really be helpful. And that's what gets me up in the morning, too. At 5 a.m. when the alarm goes off, I'm not jumping out of bed. But it's just like, man, I know how it feels to get that time in. So it's worth it. It's been worth it every time. So that's it for real this time.
All right. Thank you, guys. Well, yeah, it's 9 o'clock. Yeah, thank you. If you guys have more questions, Dara and I are always here. And I will post this recording in the team page later tonight when I'm working more. All right, guys. Have a good night.
Bye.
Thanks, Nate. Good night.